Hello, welcome back to our series New Testament in chronological order as best as we can. We'll be reading this week Mark chapter 4 and chapter 5 and Matthew chapter 5. We're in the Scriptures 2009 version, their translation. Mark chapter 4 on page 960. And he, Yeshua, began to teach again by the sea, and a large crowd was gathered to him, so that he entered into a boat to sit in the sea, and all the crowd was on the land facing the sea. And he taught them much in parables, and said to them in his teaching, Listen, see, a sower went out to sow. And it came to be, as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the birds of the heaven came and devoured it. And other fell on rocky places, where it had not much soil, and immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of soil. But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. And other fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and yielded no crop. And other fell on good soil, and yielded a crop that came up and grew and yielded a crop, some 30-fold, and some 60, and some 100-fold. And he said to them, He who has ears to hear, let him hear. And when he was alone, those about him with the 12 asked him about the parable. And he said to them, To you it has been given to know the secret of the reign of Elohim, but to those who are outside, all are done in parables. And so that seeing they see, but do not perceive, and hearing they hear, but do not understand, lest they should turn and their sins be forgiven. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9 through 10. And he said to them, Do you not understand this parable? How then shall you understand all the parables? The sower sows the word. These then are the ones by the wayside, where the word is sown. And when they hear, Satan comes immediately and takes away the word that was sown in their hearts. And likewise, these are the ones sown on rocky places, who, when they hear the word, immediately receive it with joy, and they have no root in them, but are short-lived. But when pressure or persecution arises because of the word, immediately they stumble. And others are those sown among thorns. These are they who hear the word, and the worries of this age, and deceit of riches, and the desires of other matters, entering in, choke the word, and becomes fruitless. And those sown on good soil are those who hear the word, and accept it, and bear fruit, some 30-fold, some 60, some 100. And he said to them, Would a lamp be bought? Would a lamp be brought to be put under a basket or under a bed? Is it not to be on a lampstand? For whatever is hidden shall be revealed, and whatever has been kept secret shall come to light. If anyone has ears to hear, let him hear. And he said to them, Take heed what you hear. With the same measure you use, it shall be measured to you. and more shall be added to you who hear. For whoever possesses to him, more shall be given. But whoever does not possess, even what he possesses shall be taken away from him. And he said, the reign of Elohim is as when a man scatters seed on the ground, then sleeps at night and rises at day, while the seed sprouts and grows. He himself does not know how. For the soil yields a crop by itself. For the soil yields crop by itself. First the blade, then the head. After that, the complete grain of the head. And when the crop is ready, immediately he puts it to sickle, because the harvest has come. And he said, to what shall we compare the reign of Elohim? Or what parable shall we present it? Like a mustard seed, which when it is sown on the ground is smaller than all the seeds of the earth. And when it is sown, it grows up and becomes greater than all plants, and forms large branches, so that the birds of the heavens are able to nest under its shade. And with many such parables he was speaking to them the word as they were able to hear. And he was not speaking to them without parables. And when they were done, he explained to his taught ones. And on the same day, when evening had come, he said to them, let us pass over to the other side. And having left the crowd, they took him along in the boat, as he was. And other little boats were also with him. And there came a great storm, and the waves beat into the boat, so that it was already being filled. And Yeshua was in the stern, asleep on a cushion. And they awoke him up, and said to him, Teacher, is it no concern to you that we perish? And having been awakened, he rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said to them, Why are you so afraid? Have you not yet belief? And they feared exceedingly, and asked each other, Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? Mark chapter 5. And they came to the other side of the sea, to the country of the Gadarenes. And when he came out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs. And no one was able to bind him, not even with chains, because he had often been bound with shackles and chains, but the chains had been pulled apart by him, and the shackles broken in pieces, and no one was able to tame him. And continually night and day he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying out and cutting himself with the stones. And seeing Yeshua from a distance, he ran and bowed down to him. And having called out with a loud voice, said, What have I to do with you, Yeshua, the Son of the Most High El? Swear to Elohim not to torture me. And he said to him, Come out of the man, unclean spirit. And he was asking him, What is your name? And he answered, saying, My name is Legion, because we are many. And he had begged him very much that he would not send them out of the country. Now a great herd of pigs was there, feeding near the mountains. And all the demons begged him, saying, Send us to the pigs, so that we enter into them. And he gave them permission. and the unclean spirits came out and entered into the pigs. They were about 2,000, and the herd rushed down the steep place into the sea and drowned in the sea. And those who fed the pigs fled and reported it in the city and in the country. And they went out to see what had taken place. And they came to Yeshua and saw the demon-possessed one, him who had the legion, sitting and dressed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. And those who saw it related to them what was done to the demon-possessed one and about the pigs. And they began to plead with him to leave their borders. And as he was entering into the boat, he who had been demon-possessed begged him that he might be with him. And Yeshua did not allow him, but said, "Go home to your friends and report to them what the Master has done for you, and now he has compassion on you." And he left and began to proclaim in Decapolis all that Yeshua had done for him, and was marveled, and all marveled. And when Yeshua had passed over again by boat to the other side, a large crowd assembled to him, and he was by the sea. And see, one of the rulers of the congregation came, Yari by name, and when he saw him, fell at his feet and begged him strongly, saying, "My little daughter lies at the point of death. Come, lay your hands on her to heal her, and she shall live." And he went with him, and a large crowd was following him, and they were thronging him. And a certain woman had a flow of blood for 12 years, and suffered much from many physicians, and spent all that she had, and was no better, but rather became worse. Having heard about Yeshua, she came behind him in the crowd and touched his garment. For she said, "If I only touch his garments, I shall be made well." And immediately the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt it in her body that she was healed of the affliction. And immediately Yeshua, knowing in himself that power had gone out of him, turned around to the crowd and said, "Who touched my garments?" And his taught one said to him, "You see the crowd is thronging you, and you say, 'Who touched me?'" And he was looking around to see her who did this. And the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done to her, came and fell down before him and spoke to him all the truth. And he said to her, "Daughter, your belief has healed you. Go in peace and be relieved from your affliction." And as he was speaking, they came from the ruler of the congregation's house, saying to him, "Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further?" But having heard the word that was spoken, Yeshua said to the ruler of the congregation, "Do not be afraid, only believe." And he allowed no one to follow him except Kepha, Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. So they came to the house of the ruler of the congregation and saw a commotion, and much weeping and lamenting. And coming in, he said to them, "Why make this commotion and weep? The child has not died, but is sleeping." And they were laughing at him. And when he had put them all out, he took the father and the mother of the child, and those who were with him, and went in where the child was lying. And taking the child by hand, he said to her, Tabitha cumi, which is translated, little girl, I say to you, arise. And immediately the girl rose up and was walking, for she was 12 years old. And they were completely astonished. But he ordered them many times that no one should know it, and said that she should be given food to eat. Moving over to Matthew chapter 5, on page 922. But when he, Yeshua, saw the crowds, he went up on a mountain. And when he was seated, his taught ones came to him. And having opened his mouth, he was teaching them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, because theirs is the reign of the heavens. Blessed are those who mourn, because they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, because they shall inherit the earth. Psalms 37:11. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, because they shall be filled. Blessed are the compassionate, because they shall obtain compassion. Blessed are the clean in heart, because they shall see Elohim. Blessed are the peacemakers, because they shall be called sons of Elohim. Blessed are those persecuted for righteousness' sake, because theirs is the reign of the heavens. Blessed are you. Blessed are you when you reproach and when they reproach and persecute you, and falsely say every wicked word against you for my sake. Rejoice and be glad, because your reward in the heaven is great. For in this way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt becomes tasteless, how shall it be seasoned? For it is no longer of any use but to be thrown out and to be trodden down by men. You are the light of the world. It is impossible for a city to be hidden on a mountain, nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it shines for all those in the house. Let your lights so shine before men, so that they see your good works and praise your Father who is in the heavens. Go take a slight detour. Got some time. Ephesians 5. Verse 8. For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Master. Walk as children of light. Echoes. Verse 14. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it shines for all in this house. Let your light shine so bright before men, so that they see your good works and praise your Father who is in the heavens. Do not think I came to destroy the Torah or the prophets. I did not come to destroy, but to complete. Pleurahu. For truly I say to you, till the heaven and earth pass away, one yod or one tilleth shall by no means pass from the Torah till all is done. Whoever then breaks one of the least of these commands and teaches men so shall be called least in the reign of the heavens. But whoever does and teaches them, he shall be called great in the reign of the heavens. For I say to you that unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall by no means enter into the reign of heavens. You heard it said to those of old, you shall not murder. And whoever murders shall be liable to judgment. But I say to you that whoever is wroth with his brother without cause shall be liable to judgment. And whoever says to his brother, Rakia, shall be liable to the Sandria. But whoever says, you fool, shall be liable to the fire of Gehenna. If then you bring your gift to the slaughter place, and there remember that your brother holds whatever against you, leave your gift there before the slaughter place, and go first make peace with your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Be well-minded with your opponent promptly, while you are on the way with him, lest your opponent delivers you to the judge, and the judge to the officer, and you be thrown into prison. Truly I say to you, you shall by no means get out of there till you have paid the last quadrant. You heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you that everyone looking at a woman to lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. And if your right eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out and throw it away from you. For it is better that one of your members perish than your entire body be thrown into Gehenna, the lake of fire. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away from you. For it is better that one of your members perish rather than your entire body be thrown into the lake of fire. And it has been said, whoever puts away his wife, let him get a certificate of divorce. But I say to you that whoever puts away his wife, except for the matter of whoring, makes her commit adultery. And whoever marries a woman who has been put away commits adultery. Again you heard that it said to those of old, you shall not swear falsely, but shall perform your oaths to Yahweh. But I say to you, do not swear vainly at all, neither by the heavens, because it is Elohim's throne, nor by the earth, for this is his footstool. Isaiah 66:1. For by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great sovereign. Psalms 48:2. Now swear by your head, because you are not able to make one hair white or black. But let your word be yes. Let your word yes be yes, and your no be no. And what goes beyond these is from the wicked ones. You heard that it said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not resist the wicked. But whoever slaps you on your cheek, turn the other cheek also. And he who wishes to sue you and take away your inner garments. Let him have your outer garments as well. And whoever compels you to go 1 mile, go with him too. Give to him who asks of you from him, and from him who wishes to borrow from you. Do not turn away. You heard that it said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those cursing you, do good to those hating you, and praise for those insulting you and persecuting you, so that you become sons of your Father in the heavens, because he makes his sun, S-U-N, rise on the wicked and on the good, and seeds of rain on the righteous and on the unrighteous. For if you love those loving you, what reward have you? Are the tax collectors not doing the same too? And if you greet your brothers only, what do you do more than others? Are the tax collectors not doing so too? Therefore, be perfect, as your Father in the heavens is perfect. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible. Talk to your Father.